Hey everyone, Ripley Sellers with Bob's Watches. Today we've got a really special episode for you. I'm here joined by Mr. Morgan King and Watch Gringa to go over all the new releases from Watches and Wonders Geneva. Also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date on our latest video content. All right, well, a lot of watches, a lot to talk about. Morgan, Britt, thank you for joining us. Where do we even start? I guess Rolex seems like the logical place. What are your guys' thoughts on the new releases?
Oh, should I go first? Morgan might have kinder things to say than me, so I'll go first, and then Morgan can pick up the mood afterwards. Honestly, my general feeling around the Rolex release was underwhelming. I don't know. I feel like I was so hyped up. I was so gassed up. I was pretty underwhelmed by most things. Everyone could disagree with me. I know Paul as well, CEO of Bob's Watches, disagrees with me on the left-hand drive GMT Master II.
Are you wearing your Rolex right now? Are you wearing what do you have on, by the way? I guess we should do a wrist check. What are you wearing? But
I'm wearing my Tudor Black Bay 58 today. Black Bay 58 blue.
Morgan, how about you?
I am wearing my highly anticipated Omega Swatch watch. By putting them together, they're showing up. And hopefully because I'm wearing a NASA outfit, Swatch will call me in. I'll get all 11 and the briefcase. But
it's deconstructed Omega Swatch, right? It's a deconstructed. They do the same thing culinary speak all the time. It's a deconstructed moon swatch.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue. So I'm waiting, and I'm waiting some more.
But when it happens, you're going to get the briefcase. You're going to get all 11. You're going to have the full travel set.
And you'll see me on the street wearing this orange jumpsuit with my blue briefcase, and you're like, who's that? Oh, that's Morgan. Of course, clearly.
So how do you double wrist with 11? Do you put 5 on one, 6 on the other, or how do you do that?
Well, they're Velcro, so they have a good range.
True.
Right? So
That is true.
Everywhere, let's just put it like, TikTok. We'll have one like Kumo D. We'll have one
on your ankles. Have a little anklet. I mean, dream big.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Yeah, we're limiting to ourselves by the wrist. I'm channeling my inner you. I've got on, we had a new Air King, so I'm wearing my old Air King, reference 5500, 60s. And because I'm talking to Morgan King, I've got on the other wrist, got on my sub, 16610 on one of Everest's straps. So,
Love it.
so double wristing this morning. So Britt, weren't all that blown away by the Rolex's new releases. Was there a standout for you, or even a standout miss in your opinion?
There was still standout pieces. I was most excited by the Day-Date Platinum 40 fluted bezel, that icy dial. Yeah, that one got my heart racing a little bit, but I don't think anything else did. My wallet is quite happy though. My wallet is quite happy because usually I finish Watches and Wonders and I'm like, oh, I need everything. And then my AD sees me every day for a week being a pest. So they won't be seeing me being a pest.
Morgan, what about yourself? Any particular standouts one way or the other?
I'm just glad that my BFF, JF Dufour, finally listened to me. Because I keep telling him, everyone should be wearing two watches, left hand and right. And he's like, no, Morgan, one watch only. I'm like, no, wear two watches. Make something for the right hand, will you? And they're like, okay, Morgan, okay. So, thank you, Dufour. You finally listened to your best friend. So, I do like the fact that, some people are just going to buy it just for the novelty factor because it's a destro. Like, who in the right world, like, last week when we were talking about predictions, really a left-handed destro?
You're so right.
Lantern, Killer Croc, whatever you want to nickname this thing now. Crazy, like it's mind-boggling. So, but I knew because Dufour and I were buddies. So I told him, dude, the last 5 years, I kept telling him it finally happened. Now, here's a little thing about the great thing about the crown being on the left side. Just like those Corey Monacos, I don't know if you remember, but they had the crown on the other side because they wanted people to know that you didn't have to wind it. It was the first automatic watch. So in the same way, to homage to history, that's kind of what they're doing. They're kind of showing off that they can do it, showing off they can be playful, that it's not all just its younger brother Tudor that's getting all the fun. they will, surprise you with a little bit and maybe do something like an Oscar-worthy hint, event that, you just don't expect. And everyone's talking about it. They love it, they hate it, but they're getting the traction that they want. And honestly, it's still going to sell. It's going to be on the gray market. People, my friends are already lined up waiting to get theirs. And like, please, just give it to me. Please, give me two. I'll wear the left one on my right hand too. It doesn't matter. I'll just do it. I'll wear both. Just let me have it.
You're so right, though. I think these are going to be highly collectible.
Yeah, I phoned my AD yesterday about the green GMT. Green's my favorite color, and I don't necessarily know if I like it objectively better than like the Pepsi, which I love, but I kind of want one. Given the novelty, it's a left-handed green GMT. All right, kind of got me there. So we'll see how long. Realistically speaking, I'm not going to be holding my breath on getting that phone call anytime soon. I mean, that's just kind of the case with any of the Rolex releases. I don't think any of these you're going to be able to walk in and pick up. That goes for the Yacht Master. Pretty much anything's unavailable. But the Tudor, on the other hand, I think last time I said, why doesn't Tudor do a 1655? I would love that. Well, they did, so I might actually have to grab that one. The only thing I'm thinking about it is it might be kind of thick because it uses the same movement as the Black Bay GMT. And when you shrink it down from 41 to 39, it might seem even taller, but I'll have to see that in person and formulate opinion thereafter. But what about you guys? What do you think of the Tudor offerings?
Yeah, so 2021 was won by Tudor for me. So I had really high expectations. I had really high hopes. Oh, once again, I'm going to set the mood down. Morgan, you're going to need to pick us back up. You'll have to build.
That's why I'm here. Don't worry.
It's what happens. You live in the UK, you're in the darkness all the time. You just start getting a little bit down. I would say the standout was definitely the Black Bay Pro. Absolutely loved it. Like you're saying, the 39 millimeter. I'm someone who's always loved the look of the Explorer too, but I'm sized out and priced out, but mostly sized out. And I think this is a really great option for someone like me. But like you're saying, Ripley, I am a bit scared about that width. I hear it might be about 14 millimeters. We shall wait and see. I've not tried it on. This is just, people talking, and people are going to keep talking. So we shall wait and see. I'm really intrigued as well by the GMT. So they made it kind of like the CHNR GMT, but I don't know. It's yellow gold. I want to see this one in person. I think it'll be much more subtle in person, and I'll like it more in person. But from renders, I'm a bit hesitant.
Yeah, Morgan, what about you? Well, I think one thing that's interesting, what kind of supports the theory that Tudor might have more coming later this year, is everything except the Black Bay Pro pretty much was two-tone. You got two-tone GMT, two-tone Chrono, the two-tone S&Gs. I guess there was one all-white metal New Royale with the diamonds and all that, but it was pretty much all two-tone. Morgan, what are your thoughts on the Tudor stuff?
I feel like the 1980s and 1970s are coming back, baby. It's just, they're bringing a lot of retro, they're going to homage. Like, once again, the 1655, right? The orange red Friccione, the McQueen, if you will, in the Rolex. They're bringing that back for the Black Bay Pro. And I love the fact that it is priced reasonably for what it is, but the great thing about it is that because it's a Tudor, you will be able to have it. You will be able to wear it on your wrist. It's not like one of those like Unintamians where you're like, okay, where is it? It's not there, just a display case. Oh, okay, thank you very much. And I'm gonna go back to the food court now. So the fact that it will come out and you will be able to see it, because I think, Brittany, you would rock that for sure. You would rock that. I do feel like there should be crown guards on it, right? Because right now it's just big crown. I feel like if you're gonna do something of that nature, something that worthy should have some crown guards on to protect it, because the crown is a bit big. I do feel there's a lot of snowflake hexagonal sizes on it. I think one should be a straight hand, like the MK1, if you will, going back to the 1972 version of it. It should be a straight hand. And I think later on, maybe for 2023, instead of a yellow hand, it might go to the actual orange hand, which, as you know, the Mark I and Mark II were yellow, and the Mark III, Mark IV started changing back to the orange. So I'm a huge loyalist. I like history. I like things that have soul. So I love the fact that they kind of go back and like give homage to say, you know what, this existed, and we're going to reproduce it, because guess what? The people that had it back in the 70s are now a little bit older, and they're definitely not giving it to the kids because they're selling it on eBay and Chrono24. So the younger people, this is their chance to get it and actually appreciate some things, which is lovely.
I think one of the interesting things about those new two-tone non-diver Black Bay models is they all have in-house movement. So up until this point, you got the in-house movements in the divers, like the 58, the full-size 41, but all of those other ones, whether it was the 36, 41, they all had ETA bases in it. So you still have the ETA bases in the steel models, but I'm wondering if this is Tudor kind of teasing us a little bit and saying, you know, this is what's to come. I wouldn't be surprised if the next batch of like the steel Black Bay 36 had that same in-house movement as the two-tone one that just debuted. But I think it is a little bit telling that they were so heavy on the two-tone releases and in a very intentional manner where it's not just a two-tone new Black Bay 36 or 41, it's an in-house movement version. Of course, they got all the gem set versions as well, which is kind of interesting to see Tudor coming into that game, and you can get like a fully gems, you know, diamond bezel, diamond dial for like 6-7K. That's shockingly reasonable when you look at what that would cost you from Rolex. Talk more than a 7K premium above the non-gem set counterpart. But yeah, I think what you both are saying is correct. Like these are going to be watches that we're going to be able to see and buy, and it's not, you know, it's not a how many year wait list. I can't wait to see one of the Black Bay Pros in person because that's, you know, one I'm seriously considering purchasing and actually would have the option to purchase. Along with things I don't have the option to purchase is everything from Patek Philippe. What are your guys' thoughts on these offerings? Personally, I'm priced out, but I kind of like them. What do you think on them?
Yeah, I'm priced out and sized out of everything I like. And there's so much that I like. My husband particularly is a Patek guy, so I've been hearing nonstop about it. He speaks Patek reference numbers like it's his native language. I have to write them down. I can't remember them. I can't do all the numbers. His personal favorite's the new white gold Calatrava, the one with the clou de Paris all the way around. So it's a 5226G. I had to write it down. He would tell you right off the top of his head. That's the textured dial, kind of military almost looking one. Well, an officer maybe watch. Officer with his pinky up. And my personal favorite was a salmon dial, perpetual calendar. Both are 40 mil and they'll look just horrible on me, but I get to appreciate them.
Yeah, I thought Morgan, you were right. So maybe not with the colors, but you were talking about how in the last one of your predictions was that they were going to do something to to spruce up the Calatrava, make it more of a youthfully oriented collection. And they didn't do a bunch of funky dial colors, but I think, you know, kind of this sort of military vibe that they have. This isn't Grandpa's watch, you know what I mean? It's not like the super classic dress watch. It's a very, very different Calatrava than what we're used to. Almost like one of the kind of small scale independent brand dials when it comes to like the texture, you know, the kind of tinted lumen, all of that. Are you a fan of them?
Let it be said here, I'm nicknaming this watch, the 5226G, the Sandstorm. That's what I'm calling it because it reminds me of, I may have brought it, yes, a 663 Panerai. It's kind of like dated. It's kind of like they're going hiking in the Sahara. You know, they're driving, you know, their Land Rover 110s, diesel engine with 16 camels behind them, and they're going to have a little safari. They're going to have a good time. They're looking for an oasis to hang out at. It's lovely. I think it's tremendous. The Arabic hands are very modern. They pop, right? Yeah. Releasing like a chef's kiss. It's legit. You know, I definitely feel like there should be crown guards on it because same thing. It's like that thing's in the way. It's going to hit something by accident. But I just love what they do with it. I actually don't wear Pateks only because I'm young at heart, so I feel like my grandfather or dad should be wearing it. But man, if Paul gave me money, I would buy the Sandstorm right away without any question. The hobnob ring around the case, that's very, very regal. But in the same token, I think it's so beautiful. I think the aesthetics itself is something that I wasn't expecting. As I mentioned, I think that, you know, now more and more people are going more towards the dress watch / like the two tones. It's kind of the combination. So sports models, two tone, dress watch, and I think the hobnob, the two tone look, it's slowly coming into play. So I think we'll be getting a lot more elegance watches coming to it, and plus the Calatrava. Like you're making that like a combination, so people are gravitating towards that. So maybe next year, they want you to be completely, devoted to the Calatrava because that's something that, a lot of the sports guys right now are gravitating towards. So Sandstorm all the way.
You're so right. And I was pleasantly surprised not to see a 5811 or some kind of a Nautilus. I really thought I was going to see it, so I was pleasantly surprised not to see it, and for the Calatrava to be what we're all talking about.
Yeah, I think it was smart of Patek to not drop a new 5711 replacement. Obviously, if they did, that would just dominate the show, or at least their offerings, and no one would be talking about anything else that they're putting forward because, hey, we have a new steel Nautilus or a new titanium Nautilus or whatever. This way, there is no new Nautilus at all, and it really lets the other collections breathe and put the spotlight on this new Calatrava. And Morgan, what you're saying, where the hobnail pattern around the case band versus the bezel, that's such a smart evolution because it's true to the Calatrava DNA, because you'll find those bezels with a hobnail pattern on some of the older references, but then it being migrated to the case band and leaving a regular plain, more tooly looking bezel, it's a nice kind of blend where it kind of stays in that more tougher vibe, but at the same time, you get a lot of those long-standing design traits just reimagined in a new factor. And then, of course, the annual calendar travel time version of it. Awesome watch, and I think what's really cool is they don't have the big pushers to advance the time on it. From what I understand, it's all been kind of streamlined and internalized, so you can do it through the crown. But I'm thinking back to the, I think it was 2018, the Pilot travel time, where it had on the 9 o'clock side those two big pushers, and that kind of alludes to a higher complex functionality. And then with this one, it's a really clean setup, but a wealth of functions there. It's annual calendar plus travel time features, so really cool watch.
Plus, we didn't even talk about the dial, right? The dial is like this anthracite gray, kind of like as if you're in the Sahara, you might be on the moon, who knows? And that whole syringe hand that just pops. It's like gives like a modern twist. You're not expecting to see that almost on that Calatrava, but it just blends and it really, really works. Like normally I just kind of glaze through the patterns, like, okay, that's cool, but I actually stopped. It's like, what is that? It's right. It's really, really nice. Yeah, Paul, please give me some money so I can buy it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's something that looks definitively new and not like, what they've been producing for decades. What are your thoughts on Panerai? I was having a hard time figuring out what exactly was new, on a higher level rather than just, I haven't seen that exact combination before. It looks like they're leaning in hard with the submersibles this year with the 44. Kind of that sweet spot size for anyone who thought 42 was too small and 47 was too large. But Morgan, I know you're a big Panerai guy. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so the Panerai, the one that really everyone is talking about is the Italian Pride, right? We're talking about the Gold Tech Calendar Perpetual. 33 pieces, limited edition. And if you don't know Italian, you better start learning because the days of the week are in Italian. So if you don't know, you better know. Otherwise, you're just going to be, what day is it? I have no idea, right? But I love the fact that it's gorgeous. It's, the PAM 1269. I think the dial is sick because it's everything is translucent. You see kind of in the back, it's kind of like a skeleton dial almost, but you see all the workings in it that's happening. There's me and 32 other guys are going to buy it, and that's it. We're just going to hold on to it and not give anyone else a chance. But I think that's one of the gorgeous ones that we really, really love. Of course, the QQ or the double Q, the 44. I'm not Italian, so I apologize, but that's like a tongue twister for me. So double Qs, it's nice. The E steel is wonderful. The Verde, the green, right? That pops too. The green is very, very hot. It was great in 2021. It was also going to be great now. Kind of homage to, Omega came out with it earlier, so kudos to Omega for releasing it early. So it seems like Panerai is following Omega, but we all know green was going to be hot as well as Rolex with the Green Lantern or Killer Croc, whatever you want to nickname it. But nice, definitely nice. They keep to their DNA, as I mentioned last time. They don't waver. There's no, they already made the Destro, right? So they don't have to reinvent that. So you're good on that. What else? I know about the America's Cup, right? The 1391. That one's pretty hot. Everyone's got talking about that. The what is it called? The Rosa. The
Luna Rosa, like the regatta, the racing team. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, they're very true to their design DNA, and it's also good to see them using more, more of that e-steel material. Everything that helps save the planet, I'm on board with. Britt, I know you probably can't wear any Panerais, probably like me. Maybe you're hedging on a 40 or 42 model, but most are too big for you, right?
Well, I wanted to share a story because Panerai is usually not my wheelhouse, guys. I'm usually just sized out of it. Don't really care. Always like the looks of it. I've always loved pictures. So I thought, you know what, I'm sized out. I was at the AD today and they said, Britt, we have something you need to try on. They had a 38 millimeter Luminor Due. Put it on and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I didn't want to take it off my wrist. It was titanium, beautiful, perfect, loved it. I think it might be a classic style over substance because it felt weird having only 30 meter water resistance. But I didn't care. I felt so dang good in it. I did not care. Loved wearing it. So I might become a Panerai gal.
Yeah, I love the smaller ones too.
Yeah.
But just like you, like if you could just give me that 38 mil or 40 mil, but just bump the water resistance a bit, that would be ideal. And then Morgan, you last time you said the Due should stick around, and we both agree with that. And Britt, it sounds like you're a fan of the Due as well. If we can just add an extra gasket or something, I think we're getting really close at that point. What about Cartier? I feel like we have to touch on that. Britt, I know that's a big favorite for you, and they have some really interesting pieces this year. How about you kick it off? What are your thoughts?
I'm so glad we're talking Cartier. I wanted to make sure we had time to talk Cartier today. For me, they stole the show this year. So I would have said last year for me was Tudor, or, you know, if we had to narrow it down to one piece, it was the Hybris Mechanica from JLC. But this year, JLC had the Polaris as well. That was really great this year. We won't go down there. For me, it was, I'm going to try to do it all French, the Mystérieuse, the one where like the whole
thing is the rotor, the whole movement's the rotor floating around in there.
The movement's the rotor, or the rotor's the movement. I can't figure it out. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I was like, how do you manually wind it? People tried to explain it to me, but then I was like, actually, don't. We want it to be mysterious. It's like explaining a magician's trick. I don't want to know. Let's just get lost in the magic. Absolutely stole the show from me. But they had some other exciting things as well. They had the Black Must, which I think is sexy. That looks so good. It's awesome. Oh, they had the Tank Louise. Also, they were very Art Deco, very cool. And of course, Gringa always has to talk Santos Dumont. Very nice. Once again, quite Art Deco. Loved all the offerings. There was not a thing from Cartier I didn't like.
Yeah, that's a good point. Even when some of their watches aren't for me, I still like them. I could never wear them, but I like just from as an object that exists as a piece of art or a feat in engineering in the case of that thing that's, you know, is kind of a tribute to their history doing mystery clocks. Like, I like it all, even if I could never wear it. Morgan, what about you?
Well, there's two things that come to mind. Cartier has been in the news for a little bit now recently. Number one, Jake Gyllenhaal, right? During the Oscars, what did he pull out? Right? He had the Privé. It was before it was all released, he was wearing it. And I was like, what is that? And now we know. Hall did that. He popped it off. And also, just, you know, because I'm in LA, I love gossip. Will Smith, he was wearing a Cartier Drive, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm wondering if there was like a quote unquote watch meme, kind of like that Batman and Robin meme, where, you know, maybe Breitling is not Breitling. Maybe Cartier is talking to Omega saying, "Get off my pedestal. I just succeeded you from this year," right? So like, who knows? All these watch and wonder memes that could be happening, but it's just crazy. As far as the mysterious mass, I love magic. I you know, next time you guys come, we go to the Magic Cast and do magic. But one of the great things I loved about this is that it really epitomizes everything about what the imagination can hold. It's like you look at it, you have no idea how it works. Even if they open it up, you're kind of like, it's still magic, even though if you know how it works, but it's like just ridiculous. But actually
Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I just want to live in the magic.
You want to see a magic effect? I could do a magic effect for you also, and I won't tell you. That's crazy also.
I'm always down for a magic trick if Bob says time.
Think 1, 2, 3. Think of a card. You got it?
I do now.
Okay, tell us now, what is it right now while this is in view? What's the card?
10 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds. Watch. In here, you have, I made a prediction, 10 of diamonds. 1, 2, and what is this? One card. Just one card. 10 of diamonds. Done. How do
Don't
you do
even
it?
know.
I won't tell you. It's 6.
C'est mysterious. C'est mysterious.
Morgan,
It's
do you
like-
want a job at Cartier? I think they might need another engineer for the next mystery clock.
But the crazy thing about it is when I saw it, I was like, there's no way that is possible. Absolutely, like half it's missing. It's like you're cutting the girl in half, and where are her legs? It's still moving. How does that work? I don't get it. But Cartier is legit. I think another thing that they really enjoyed was the what is it? Oh, the anthracites, the red, the 1917 MC, right? What is it called? Gosh, what is that? The chronometer, the non-chronometer version. It has like the red.
Oh,
and
exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
it has like a very elegant look. I think it was very, very regal. The burgundy with the gold. I loved it. I think it popped. My wife was like, yo, let's go to Cartier. I was like, no, let's not. But yeah, it was something that really, really drove us. Also the all black, right? The jet. I forget the names. I apologize. I'm not a Cartier guy, but that drove me up. It kind of had the, it was very, very simple. It was, Swiss made, Cartier, very simple, very plain, but gorgeous. Sometimes less is more. And I think it's a lovely look.
Yeah, you can see that one just coming out from like a tuxedo cup at a nice meal or something. I don't know. I thought it was class.
I did think about the Pasha because they came out with that kind of like, it was like that grill looking thing.
On the cage, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminded me like a Rolex helmet, like a deep side. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's they're deep diving now. But I think it was really nice. My wife liked the diamond version, but I was like, no, I'll take the Pasha version with the nice, beautiful girl. Gorgeous. Really, really
It's just
gorgeous.
a bit odd, isn't it? Yeah, I like anything that's a bit odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a homage to vintage, like 20s to 30s. It has like, it's 40 millimeters, so it's a good size. Not too grand, but it's not too small either. So I think that's very nice. And yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. Good job, Cartier. No wonder you're number 2.
We'll take it.
And I
We'll
believe the
take
grill
it.
is removable on this one too. So if you want to rock it without it, you have that option. And then if you're going to go rock climbing or something where you might break your crystal, there you go. Pop it on for protection. Any other honorable mentions? Last ones we should cover that we haven't? Britt, I know it's late over there and you probably had a long day moving, but any other ones you want to cover here?
I think honorable mention has to go to JLC and the Polaris. Perpetual calendar, and as well, we didn't talk about Rolex, the things that were discontinued from Rolex. I was pretty surprised by what was discontinued as well.
Yeah, I'm probably more surprised by what was discontinued from Rolex, with axing all of the yellow and red OP dials, taking out the 41 millimeter Tiffany version, drastically cutting the number of available options there. Also surprised we didn't see some anniversary Sky Dweller, or that we didn't see a new Yacht Master II. I personally love the Vacheron 222. That's gorgeous. Again, something I am thoroughly priced out of. But I mean, that watch is absolutely stunning. I mean, I like the original. The new one stays very true to it, so it was obviously going to be a hit. Will they do a steel one? Who knows? But I think it looks fantastic in yellow gold.
Yeah, and like Morgan was saying, lots of 70s inspiration. Lots of 70s are back, baby.
Yeah, the salmon one from VC was also very, very nice. I really enjoyed the way that looked. What is it? The perpetual calendar version, right? What else do I like? The Tag Heuer, the plasma, the diamond, where the crown was grown in. That's pretty cool. Like, you can't, I love the fact that people provide the technology and you provide the application, because you might be going to, let's say, Norway, you're going to the ice castle to stay at the hotel, and you just want to be able to rock a Tag Heuer, plasma, which is, what is that? It's made out of aluminum, it's light, it's just gorgeous, and of course it's a tourbillon. So, if you're gonna do that, you should just go all the way. So those are the things I like. Breitling is kind of nice too. I was recently at the release party for that, and they're really going back old school. There's this delicious, we call it pistachio mint, where it's like this like really light lime, with a white register. It's just really pretty. It's 41 millimeters. Go check it out. Those are the ones that I enjoy. Those are nice.
Yeah, great watches, and I think we're also kind of barring no joke releases tomorrow on April Fool's Day, I'm wondering if there's going to be anything else that's going to trickle out. Not all brands are participating at Watches and Wonders, and then on top of that, other brands are kind of doing their own thing and taking advantage of all the people in Geneva this week. So it'll be interesting to see what else kind of trickles out from the woodwork, or if any brands are just holding on to something until later to kind of grab some headlines, or if Tudor's going to release more models out of season, because who would want to share the spotlight with Rolex? And everything was so heavily two-tone oriented. I'm curious, where's the steel at? Other than the Black Bay Pro, but that's my pick from the show. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. This is a ton of fun as always. Obviously, if there's some more noteworthy new releases, we'll have to meet back up and give some thoughts on them. And then just also, as always, whatever comes out drastically changes the market. So with, like you were saying, the discontinued OP dials, who knows what that's going to look like. But thank you both so much for joining us. That about wraps it up. And don't forget to tune in next time for the next episode, and we go over what got released.